Pete, welcome to Good Living. Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Yep.
Of course, you're the Chief Executive of the Canterbury Employers Chamber of Commerce, but today we're talking about those wonderful Champion Canterbury Awards.
Yes, the Champion Canterbury Awards, the biggest business awards in New Zealand and unashamedly celebrating business success in Christchurch and Canterbury.
And I think at this time of year, how special that we're able to do that.
Oh yeah, well these awards were originally scheduled for September 9. Obviously we couldn't hold them then, we tried, but it was just too hard. So we postponed them until November the 30th to give people time to get themselves back together, and we've got 1,020 people coming along on November the 30th to celebrate business success in our region. We'll also be marking this terrible tragedy at Pike River Coal, and also just commemorating some of the aspects of the earthquake, but the main theme of the night is celebrating business success and linking business success with a healthy community.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? How did these awards come about? What was the rationale?
We've been running the awards for 8 years, and it was about trying to demonstrate to our community at large the importance of business and celebrating business success. It's about linking sustainable, profitable business and community well-being, and getting people to understand that if you're going to live in a thriving community, you need thriving businesses. We've got them here in Christchurch and Canterbury, and we wanted to show the world, and we've done that unashamedly for 8 years.
That's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So this one on Tuesday will be its eighth year.
8th year, yep.
So what do you think, Peter, is so kind of special and unique about these awards?
Well, the awards are much more about celebration than they are about the analytical analysis of the business performance. They're about businesses that are doing really clever things, getting involved in innovation, getting involved in offering products of what I call products of integrity, so that you justify your offering, doing things that Canterbury and Christchurch are so good about doing, and doing them in a way that is making a real difference to our community. So we get out there and we celebrate not only those businesses but also charities and businesses that are involved in good safety practices. We're there to celebrate them all.
And you know, as a businessman yourself, how important these awards are, and that they're nominated, aren't they? So people nominate these businesses to go forward.
That's right. We have about 400 nominations a year of businesses that people think are worthy of celebration. The businesses themselves are advised that they've been nominated. They then decide whether or not they want to join in with the award process. And we get about 150 businesses a year that actually enter the awards. And then it all comes down to November the 30th when we proclaim the winners.
So tell me about the judging panel and the selection of criteria, because that's not an easy job.
No, we have about 40 judges. So we try and take the bias, because we're a relatively small community, we try and take the bias out of judging by having a large number of judges dealing with every one of the categories that we have. And any judge that is conflicted has to withdraw from the award process, because again, in a small community you can have judges with interests in some of the entrants. So they go through all of that process. They operate completely independently, the 40 judges. We then collate all of their assessments, put them together and determine the finalists initially. Then there's a rejudging for the winners, and it's the winners that will be announced on November 30.
That's very exciting times, isn't it? And especially as we've talked about, you know, with the earthquake and that thing at the moment. What's the ramifications been for you and for businesses in Christchurch?
Well, the earthquake's been very damaging for the business community. As you know, you can see the damage, and it's not only the damage you can see, it's the damage you can't see. It's things like the drop-off in turnover, you know, cash flow crises, difficulties with employment relationships because of the stress that employees have been under. All of those things are playing out, and we're doing whatever we can to assist the business community, describing ourselves as what I call a safe pair of hands for business. So if any business, they don't have to be members of ours, any business have any concerns about the ramifications of the earthquake, we're there to help. And I've got 36 loyal people at the Canterbury Employers Chamber of Commerce. We're working closely with the Canterbury Development Corporation and New Zealand Trade and Enterprise to make sure that we can have a combined package of support.
So how long do you think it'll be before we kind of are back to some kind of normality for our businesses in Christchurch?
Most of the businesses are back to normal now. We've over 92-93% of our businesses are up, running and doing okay, although we'd love to see more economic activity, particularly in the hospitality and retail sector. Love to see people engaged in spending, because we need that before Christmas.
That's right.
It's the other 6-7% that are really struggling, and that's, for some of those, they won't get through. For some of them that do get through, it's going to take a long time to get back to normal. The big issue for us is getting people back into engaging with business, back into spending, back into getting out of this syndrome that we're all in post-earthquake, which is to keep your money in your pockets. We want to get the money out of the pockets.
And that has been what's been happening, isn't it? People have been holding tight.
Oh, absolutely. The other big thing that we're seeing is the overseas perception of Christchurch, that we've got a damaged city. People like English language schools are really struggling to get students to come because they perceive that we've got a damaged city. We're doing whatever we can to reverse that perception.
Tourists picking up slightly, I see around the city?
Yeah, patchy. I was talking to someone yesterday who runs a boutique hotel, and he was saying that he's still struggling to get overseas tourists into his hotel. They just turned off after the earthquake, and we need to turn them back on.
Okay, well, we're doing everything that you can to help with that. And of course, the big awards happening. So the Champion Canterbury Awards Tuesday the 30th, isn't it? So
yes,
we're at the end of the month already.
Yep.
Yeah, and CTV will be there televising the event, and we will have it on our channel in a couple of weeks' time. So be really exciting to hear who the winners are. So Pete Townsend, thank you very much. Wonderful award ceremony, and that will be happening on Tuesday. Pete, thank you.